I'm wondering what's wrong with people. Recently, as I've been driving around, it's easy to tell that the holidays are over and people are back to their usual surly, sour moods. This morning, I was driving into the center of the town I live in, not a particularly big town. There wasn't a lot of traffic on the streets, but I happened to be following somebody that was driving very slowly. They were doing about 22 in a 35-mile-an-hour zone. It's a Saturday morning. I really didn't have anywhere to be that was time sensitive or urgent to get there. But the person behind me was clearly in a rush. They kept leaning on their horn, and finally I threw up my hands as if to say, "What do you want me to do about it? Do you want me to go around this person and cross over a double yellow line? Do you want me to hit them and push them out of the way? What do you want me to do?" And she started gesturing at me like, "Move, get out of my way." And I'm thinking, where am I going to go? That was followed by I went to the grocery store. And as I'm walking in, a gentleman is outside smoking a cigarette. And he drops it on the ground and stomps it out with his foot and keeps walking. Is it my responsibility to clean up his garbage? I see stuff like this all the time. And I am so frustrated. I just don't understand people. I don't understand why everyone is in such a rush and why people get so surly so quickly. I just don't get it. I don't believe in New Year's resolutions, as I've said before, but I might change that this year. Maybe my New Year's resolution this year, and it's something I try and do all the time anyway, is to try and be a little bit more polite, a little bit more pleasant, and just a little less pushy. Now, that doesn't mean for those of you that have passed me on the highway or that more than likely I've passed on the highway, I'm going to drive any slower. It's one of those things. If you got a lot of miles to drive and a short time to do it, I tend to drive a little bit fast. But I also try and give people some grace or some slack or some space, whatever it is. I try and hold doors open for people instead of letting them slam in their face. I try and allow people to pass in front of me or make a turn if they need to, trying to be cognizant of what others are dealing with at that particular moment. I often try and be sensitive to the needs of my family and friends, but sometimes I'm not as patient as I should be with strangers. I don't think I've ever acted like that person that was following me this morning, driving and honking my horn just to get by so that they could get to the center of town all of 30 seconds faster. And then I watched them try and pull into a parking space, and they were struggling to do it, and they were holding up traffic behind them. But I noticed nobody honked, nobody extended their middle finger telling them that they were number one in their book. People were patient. They allowed this individual to park their vehicle without creating a scene or without creating a problem. If that person had just been a little nicer, again, maybe the space would have been easier to get into. I don't know. But I do know that I am tired of watching people treat one another badly. It takes so much less energy to be pleasant and be polite and be nice. Maybe that should be everyone's New Year's resolution. I understand we all have bad days. We all get frustrated. We all have things that don't go our way. But it would be nice if maybe we showed one another again a little bit of grace and a little bit of patience. I hope you all have a fantastic 2026. And again, try and be kinder and nicer to other people. This is Ken Abrams from Fun Enterprises with another Tuesday at 10 blog. Hope you all have a great week.